How you doing, guys, and welcome to my review on Jurassic World Dominion, starring Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, DeWanda Wise, Isabella Sermon, and return of the old cast: Sam Neill as Alan Grant, Laura Dern as Ellie Sattler, and Jeff Goldblum as Dr. Ian Malcolm. So the story set 4 years after the destruction of Isla Nubla. Dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside humans all over the world. This fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all whether human beings are to remain the apex predator on a planet they now share with history's most fearsome creatures in a new era. Going into this movie, watching it, I saw all the rotten negative reviews like, oh, this is gonna be bad or like it's gonna be really disappointing. Well, it's kind of mixed feeling, but it's still good. Like, it's very thrilling and entertaining as usual, but I feel this movie was slow, long, and thought the storyline in this movie was so unbalanced and kind of like, oh, it was too much. It started out promising how they explained that, like, the numbers, or like, oh, dinosaurs all around the world, like what they should do is like, oh, kill the dinosaurs, or like put them into some island to live them peaceably. There's like a poll question answer on the graph, and the stat says like, oh, I thought it was a promising start. Then like, why they introduced this thing, or like this ecological disaster and everything? It should be like dinosaur mayhem. Instead, it was like more scientific conspiracy experiment over dinosaur mayhem. So I was kind of disappointed how they make it so unbalanced and make it so complicated. Like, it lost a lot of touch and magic that was the first original Jurassic Park movie. And this movie tried to correct every mistake that was made in the previous entry movies, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Like, what happened some parts in Dominion should have happened in Fallen Kingdom, with more clarity and clear idealistic result. Like, the setup in this movie, I thought it was too much. Like, they should have done more in Fallen Kingdom, then set up a very, very clear conclusion and have a very fun ride of it. This felt like Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Like, The Last Jedi was a complete, like, total mistake and a story killer. Like, then The Rise of Skywalker, they brought back Palpatine and trying to clean up the mistake. They make it people satisfying. That's what this movie was doing, like bringing back the old cast: Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum. They trying to do that. They try to mask everything to, like, cover up the mistakes. But unfortunately, this quite didn't cover up all the mistakes and holes in this movie. I thought the plot in this movie was very, very too much. Like this was about one kind of particular insect is genetically produced bio threat by this one corporation, killing all the major human crop and vegetations around the world, and competing with dinosaurs as the biggest threat to human extinction. Like, another element of the movie was like kidnapping this one individual person. She holds the key to, like, survival of the human race. She was like a genetically, like, produced clone and everything. She, like, holds a survival key to human and preventing human exchanges. So it was like all over the place. I thought the plot in this movie was so all over the place. The storytelling was like out of whack. It's just everything was like so messy, and like overall couldn't cover up the mistakes that was made. Even they brought back the old cast and combined with the new cast, that is Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. And Maisie, played by Isabella Sermon, was revealed in the previous movie that in Fallen Kingdom she was a clone of Ben Lockwood's daughter, Charlotte Lockwood. And yeah, she was like the main, kind of all of a sudden become a deal, like a main staple figure in this movie. Like, I get it, but like, why all of a sudden, instead of like focal point should be on like by one particular dinosaur, or like they're more on dinosaur, but all of a sudden become like, why all of a sudden a human individual become the focal point in this movie? Like, she holds the key to like saving the humanity and everything. As it was, didn't quite get it. Although she played the character well, and I was disappointed with Blue's appearance. Like Jurassic World Trilogy, one dinosaur, main staple of the dinosaur was Blue. And she appeared at the beginning with her new baby. It was nice to see. Then her baby got kidnapped. It was revealed on the trailer. Then her appearance, I thought she was gonna have a one last great appearance. It's gonna be a great watch, but she turned out to be like, that's it until that. Like, I was very, very disappointed how they handled the appearance of Blue. I wish she had more runtime and role in this movie and have a big action in this, like getting into it, but I was disappointed with Blue's appearance. And overall, the character wise, like the new characters, Kayla Watts, played by DeWanda Wise. She's like the Air Force pilot. She got on the journey with Owen and Claire. And Ramsey Cole, played by Mamundo Athlete. He's like communication, like a department head of a guy in the corporation was running. Luis Dodson, if you remember, that's Dodson. I mean, this guy, played by Campbell Scott. I mean, why all of a sudden he makes an appearance? If you remember, I mean, Dawson. He appeared in Jurassic Park, the first one, just a little bit, and he's the mastermind behind this like corporation, like trying to like, have the human extinct, like contributing to like human extinction by creating this bio threat and everything. Like he was like the antagonistic guy, even he was not the so-called great villain. And why all of a sudden he appeared? Why this corporation didn't appear in Fallen Kingdom? Instead, Fallen Kingdom was like it's all about black marketing sale of dinosaurs. Like it was total mess. I thought it was a total mess, and that's why they introduced this guy. I thought it was like very very trying to quickly trying to like correct the mistake in the previous movie, and why all of a sudden he appears. I just didn't get it, but you kind of get it how what they were doing about, and yeah, then of course the old cast, new cast is Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard. The old is Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. Like they're coming together. Like the new cast, they're trying to save Maisie. The old cast, they're getting back together to prevent the extinction of the human race. I thought the chemistry between those new and old cast, I thought was very kind of mild, maybe it's moderate, very average. The humor level was very kind of like, oh, it's okay. It's not that so great, like at the high of the level that I was hoping for. Even bringing back the old cast, felt nice nostalgic feel to it, but it just didn't quite feel right after 30 years. They're not getting together, getting back. It was kind of weird to see, but I was okay with. It was fine. Even they brought back the old cast, just didn't quite cover the mistake overall, the hole in this movie. So I was disappointed how this movie couldn't get over the hump of correcting the mistakes that were made in the previous movie. So even this movie's storyline was kind of out of order, mistakes and holes that exist so much in this movie. It's still enjoyable movie to watch. The CGI and VFX were good as always. The sound design was outstanding and loud. You get to see all the dinosaurs all out on the road in the streets or like in the forest or in the sky and everything. That was very cool. Like there are good moments throughout the film. Don't get me wrong. By far, the best scene part in this movie was the Malta sequences, the action sequences in Malta. Like Owen riding the motorcycle on the one side, the other side, Claire and Kayla on the truck, both sides getting chased by Atrociraptors simultaneously. I thought that was very, very intense, exciting, entertaining moment, and Allosaurus attacking the town while both getting chased by Atrociraptors. Very cool, very exciting. And Owen, Claire, and Kayla riding on a plane, taken down by the big flying dinosaur. It was very cool. Then Pyroraptor attacking Owen and Kayla on the iceberg. That part is very, very, very chilling and cold and exciting. Then Therosaurus like getting onto the near face of Claire on the underwater, like so many Therosaurus. Like actually, the group of few goes underneath to this on the journey of mined underground sets. I thought that was very, very kind of horror show, scary. It caught me off surprised, and obviously the epic Giganotosaurus appearance and Ian waving the around the flare to draw Giganotosaurus around. It kind of reminds me of that Jurassic Park where Alan waving the flare around to draw the T-Rex and everything. That was a good reminder. It was a nice sequence and everything. Then the final matchup at the end, that was very, very intense. So overall, they had good moments, but like in totality, I thought the storyline in this movie was just yet again out of whack and kind of out of the line. So I gave this movie 3 star. This movie just didn't go quite seamlessly. There were enough edge of your seat and intense sequences that keeps you in it. Don't get me wrong, it's very still exciting movie to watch, but just the storyline of this movie, what happened in Fallen Kingdom, they trying to cover up the mistakes, they couldn't do it. Like maybe too much characters and plots happen in this movie that just didn't quite reach the high fruition nor the satisfaction. Like it's still nice to see getting the old cast back, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum. Those were nice, but just didn't like add a good mixture and like deliver a huge magic and illumination that Jurassic Park, the original one, brought to this world. And so it's kind of like a mixed bag and kind of a little disappointment to it. Still a passing grade, but like just didn't quite good enough. But it's okay and good, but not absolutely great, like absolutely like gigantic or enormous that great. So that's my review on Jurassic World Dominion. What do you think about it? Please stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.